you so much for tuning in. I have some really helpful information for you in regards to a dump sheet. I've also made another video to help us get ready for the big test about keywords. So if you haven't watched that, be sure to go look for that video. It's super helpful. When you start your test, your teacher or whoever, whichever adult examiner or proctor is with you, they're going to give you scratch paper. Of course, you're going to write your name on it, and they're going to give you instructions. When they say the words, "You may now begin the test," you are going to be given scratch paper, of course. This is your opportunity to make that dump sheet. Throw everything, dump it all in one place to help you get ready. Once you put a dump sheet together, you are ready to answer questions. So we've got a multiplication chart, as you all are familiar with, and over here you can see the start of my nines trick. We're going to get into that. So when I start with my multiplication chart, I've got 1 through 10 going across and 1 through 10 going down. Over here I have my multiplication chart, and I hope you guys can remember and practice your multiplication songs, because those help you really fill out that chart easily if you practice those. We've got ones. Those are so fun to do. I love starting with the easy numbers first. I've got my ones. I've got my tens. I love starting with the easy numbers. And then of course we've got twos. We can count by 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Threes, we know our three song. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33. Hey, all right, fours. How do we do our four song? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and 40. Fives. We don't even need a song by fives. We know how to count by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Very good. Let's move on to sixes. Come on, y'all. Ooh, I think that I found a way to count by 6. 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, and 60. Once you've got that, you can do your sixes super fast. All right, sevens. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, and 70. All right, eights. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80, 88, 96. All right, nines. Nines are super fun because look at this nines trick over here. If I can just put on one side 0 through 9, and on the other side I go backwards 9 through 0, I've got my 9 multiples right here for me, okay? I've got 9 times 1 is 9, 9 times 2 is 18, 9 times 3 is 27, and so forth. And also, of course, remember, you don't see it on here, but remember, anything times 0 is 0. Let's continue forward, okay? So we know our place value chart. We write OTH. What does OTH stand for? We have ones, tens, hundreds, and then we put OTH, TTH, HTH. OTH is 1,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s. And then why do we have this comma? In my class, we say we like to keep the best friends together. We always keep our OTHs together because they are besties. And then over here, we've got OTH, comma, OTH, TTH, HTH, comma. You don't need to know millions. I have it on my paper, but you don't need to know that for 3rd grade. That's just a fun thing for next year. All right, polygon rules. You need to remember, polygons, no curves, closed shape. It has to be closed, okay? It cannot be open somewhere. That's not a polygon. The lines cannot cross. No X's, no crossing. And then also, you have to remember it's a 2D or flat shape. If we're talking about a sphere or a cube, that is not a polygon. And then over here we have our polygon chart, all right? As you remember, tri equals triangle, tri equals 3 sides, quad equals 4 sides, penta equals 5 sides, hexa equals 6 sides. They both have X in the name. Hepta equals 7 sides. Octa, just like an octopus, equals 8 sides. Octopi have 8 legs. Octagon has 8 sides. Nonagon equals 9 sides. Decagon equals 10 sides. All right. I have the back side. I've went ahead and written it on another sheet of paper, but the back side of my dump sheet looks just like this. Okay. So over here, I have fractions. This is all we're going to worry about right now at the moment. My fractions, my nerdy numerator is the number on the top. Nerdy numerator, I like to do this for the nerdy numerator. It's the 1 that tells you, because he's a bossy number, he tells you how many are shaded in. And then that down denominator is the number that is down. That is how many parts in the whole. So if I have, let's say, a circle cut in half, like this. This is how many are shaded in, the 1. Half is how many parts in the whole. Proper number is just a normal fraction. An improper number is when the numerator is larger than the denominator. Does that make sense? Improper fraction. Mixed number is when we have a whole number mixed with a proper fraction. All right, so here is 1 3/8. That is a mixed number. This is what we like to call, in 3rd grade, the butterfly method. We multiply, we cross multiply to get 6 times 1 is 6, 2 times 5 is 10, and then we know that 10 is a bigger number than 6. I give it 2 dots on this side, 1 dot on that side, connect the dots. I have a kindergarten L, it's less than the number, the alligator wants to eat this side, it's a less than symbol, so we know that 1/5 is less than 2/6. Down here we have an equivalent fraction. 3/6 is equal to how many 12ths? Well, if I multiply the top and bottom by 12, or by 2, excuse me, by 2, I multiply it by 2. 6 times 2 is 12. 3 times 2 is what? It's 6/12. That's why I have over here 6/12. Let's look at the other side now. All right, this is a clock. All right, come in quietly, please. Thank you. Over here I have a clock. I have a clock. I know on a clock, the minute hand is the longer hand. Minute is a longer word. Hour is the shorthand because it's a short word. All right, over here I've put 12. That's my top number. 6 is my bottom number. On the side I have 3. On the other side I have 9. You need to remember that when you are multiplying by 5, you can put 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 5 is 15, and so on and so forth. Just practicing to have that visual, memorizing what each section of the clock means. Over here we have perimeter and area. Remember, perimeter is that fence on the outside. We're counting around the outside, the sides. You can use your pen tool to count the sides over here, and then the squares in the middle, that is your area. All right, so we count the sides. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's my perimeter. It's 10 units unless it tells you inches or centimeters or yards or miles. We just call it units if we don't know the unit of measurement. For instance, this shape, it's the perimeter equals 10 units. The area, we count the squares on the inside. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the area equals 6 units squared. I could write it 6 units with that squared symbol in the corner. I could also write 6 square units. These mean the same thing. Remember, when you're doing perimeter, you need to add. Perimeter equals plus. In this case, I have 2 units on this side, 2 units on this side, 3 units on this side, 3 units on this side. I can write P equals 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2. Altogether, that equals 10 units. All right. Remember, when you're rounding over here, when you're rounding, as long as you remember 4 or less, let it rest. 5 or more, raise the score. You can remember that the numbers that you need to do that are 4 or less are as follows: 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 or more includes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful for you to get ready for making your dump sheet. Once you get a dump sheet made, the rest of the test is a breeze. This is everything you've already learned in 3rd grade. It is no reason to stress. You've got this, and just great practice. Thank y'all so much again for watching. Bye.